Dylan, how you doing?
You're surviving.
Are you writing now? Okay, yeah, I don't see you, but I hear you. You can probably see, you can probably see. Yeah. See? Yeah.
Screen?
Okay. I'm gonna get off the phone. Well, can you hear me through the Zoom?
I can, yeah.
Okay, we're good then.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Sure. If you would. I also agree. It's just for you. Okay, let me get my dual one. And put on the music.
That would be nice.
There's a lot of people for the thingy.
Not as many as last year. We were missing a few, but mass been a little bit longer too, so. Some people were getting there at like 20 after, or they were, and the guest speakers.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was towards the end. People were coming.
Please make sure you sign in.
Yeah, James Herrera did a real good job. Oh, you did? You were out of town. Oh, okay. Definitely. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh, wow. That's it. 4 grades up to
Ready, Jay? Ready, Councilman? Councilor Ortega, can you hear me?
No, I can't yet.
Okay,
Are you ready?
yeah. Councilor Ortega, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, welcome. I'm going to call this meeting to order at 6:01 this evening. Welcome, everyone, to council meeting at the end of the month, the Tuesday, May 26th. We appreciate you being here this evening. Madam Clerk, can we have roll call, please?
Councilwoman Luis Gallegos,
Here.
Councilman Grant Padilla,
Here.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Here.
Councilman Darrell Ortega.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Next, we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Karen, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of Mexico, and the U.S. symbol of appropriation among united cultures.
Next is approval of the agenda. Do we have any questions, concerns with the agenda? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda as presented. Second.
I have a motion by Counselor Jaramillo to approve the agenda, a second by Counselor Gonzalez. Madam Clerk, please take roll.
Councilwoman Luis Gallego,
Yes.
Councilman Graham Paulino,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Darrell Ortega.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is approval of minutes.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Counselor Gonzalez and a second by Counselor Jaramillo. Madam Clerk, please take roll.
Councilwoman Luis Gallego,
Yes.
Councilman Graham Paulino,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Darrell Ortega.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is action items. We have a discussion, consideration, and decision. It's approval of Axon for Questa Police Department.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Council. In your packet, I have added a subscription proposal for Axon Enterprises, Inc. We also have Ms. Nevaeh online. She is a representative from Axon. Axon is basically a subscription service for body cameras for our police department. We currently have some cameras that were purchased with some more money about 3 years ago. These cameras currently are outdated. They were just kind of something that we felt was best at the time to get the village, although they have served their purpose well. We do believe that with a expanding police department that it would be beneficial to go ahead and move forward with improving our body cam. If you have any questions that myself or Chief Romero cannot answer, like I stated, we do have Nevaeh online and she'd be more than happy to answer these questions. And so this is broken down. If you look on the second sheet in your packet, this is broken down from May of 2026 all the way to May of 2035. I know the cost seems quite large, but they do break it down yearly. This isn't just for purchase of a body camera. It's purchased for subscription to be able to access our the body cam footage online as well. Not just for the officers to be able to get their videos uploaded quickly and be able to get those things, but also for IPRA inspections. It would also be very beneficial for those types of items as well. What else is on there? Oh, something I do want to mention, the body cameras will be reimbursed by the New Mexico Municipal League. So that is something, I do believe it is laid out on here as a line item on page number 3. I believe it is that top section. So that will be reimbursed back to us once we are able to get this. If this gets approved tonight, we can go ahead and place the order, pay for the items, and then we can go ahead and get the body cams actually reimbursed to us. Is there anything else? as along with the tasers that will come along with the package as well. Our tasers are currently, I wouldn't say outdated, but they're definitely getting to the point where they need to be renewed or repurchased. Nevaeh, I feel like I'm missing a bunch of cool items that you told us here, so if you want to hop in and just say a few words of what's included directly into this package.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Nevaeh, and I am the account manager for the Questa Police Department, as well as any rural community within New Mexico. This package here that we are proposing is very robust. However, it's going to make officers' lives and the agency's lives very simple. What is included in here is your body camera hardware, brand new taser 10s, as well as some AI software features that Chief Romero and I have kind of gone over and decided that the agency needs and would make everyone's lives more efficient. There's a couple ones on there that I can really touch on high level. The first is going to be draft 1. That is going to be an AI report writing for all of the body camera footage and post-arrest or post-incident reporting. The officers right now, we're spending about 15 hours a week just writing reports. That takes 15 minutes down to 10 minutes. For each, 15 hours, to 10 minutes for each report. That is one aspect of the AI era plan. Secondly, there's something called Axon Assistant. I wish I would have brought my body camera home. I did it today, but Valerie and Chief Romero and everyone have kind of seen it in person. There's 3 components to it really. One is real-time translation. The second one is policy chat, and the last one is general knowledge. This makes the body camera, quote unquote, I could call it smart. It allows to have a 2-way translation between the subject and the officer if there's a language barrier. It allows the agency to put in their policy and have the body camera act as an Alexa, you can say. So, for example, officers are typically calling command staff and saying, hey, what's our policy against a vehicle pursuit? Now they can ask the body camera, it's Questa Police Department's policy building on there. Third is general knowledge. That is something like if they find a pill on the floor, they can ask the body camera, I have a pill here with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, color blue, what should that be? Xanax, fentanyl, things like that. So it allows officers to be independent, not have to call command staff as much, but just have another resource on their belt. And then I think another big point to touch on is redaction assistance. That takes redactions from hour-long jobs down to, I would say, minutes. What it does is the software that can detect faces, ID documents, anything that would need to be redacted within a body camera footage video. And I'm happy to demo any of this if anyone has any questions. The plan that Questa has been proposed is called the AI Era Plan, and in simple terms, it's a software subscription that bundles all of our AI-powered tools into one predictable cost annually per officer. So instead of Questa Police Department kind of buying each tool separately, you're getting a bundled price at the best rate that we offer for the next 10 years. Plus, any new feature that comes out, the police department will automatically get access to it. That's really high level. If anyone would like me to go into more detail about anything in the proposal, we're more than happy to do that as well.
As far as funding, this can be paid out and probably will be paid out of LAPF money. It's the money that our police department gets basically yearly, depending on officers and staffing. And so that is where the funding will come out to pay for this. And then, like I stated before, the tasers and the actual body cams will be reimbursed by the New Mexico Municipal League.
Thank you. Councilors?
Mr. Heath, you said that the funding's gonna come out of the LAPF,
LEPF.
LEPF?
Yes.
I
That's
understand what that is.
The law
Do we
enforcement.
have that much money in that fund, or where, that fund comes from, where exactly?
That's a finance question, ma'am.
Those monies, Counselor, come from the state. For fiscal year 27, our application asked for $102,500. This year, we received $101,000.
But the municipality is reimbursing.
I understand that. And I'm looking at page 3, is that's what the total cost, no?
Yes, but if you look on page 2, it breaks it down. So the first year, it does have the 73,000, but that's included with all the body cam, all of the accessories for it, and then the the tasers. And then moving on to the next year, it basically stays at 37,000. Again, this includes the body cameras, the redaction system, which is actually, at this point right now, we're basically having to watch the entire video and redact every single second. During the demonstration, she was able to show us that if we want, per IPRA, per our state statutes, there are things that we have to redact. If somebody wants to do an inspection of the records, there are some things, especially when it comes to police department. And these things are changing yearly. I mean, from last year to this year, there's quite a few changes as well. So it's also good to keep up with those. But it basically stays at that rate for the next, from 27 all the way to 2035.
I guess my next question, Madam Pro Tem, is for Nevaeh. So, the statement just made right now that technology is changing year after year. So we're gonna buy some more next year?
I'm so sorry, say that last part one more time.
So my question was, so we're gonna buy some more next year?
He's stating that because how technology changes yearly, if we're going to be required.
You purchase this right here, there's a new teaser 11 that comes out, or body cam 7, or whatever comes out next, they send it to us free of charge. You don't get, it's part of the subscription. So if a new one comes out that's updated and more better than what we have, they send it to us.
And that's booked for 35?
Yes.
Until 35.
Yeah, that's a great question. So every 2.5 years, the agency is gonna get brand new body cameras. So say that they're exactly what Chief said, if there's body camera 7 in 2.5 years, you all are gonna receive the body camera 7. And then same thing for taser, at the 5-year mark, you're gonna get brand new tasers. So taser only has a 5-year, useful life. So we wanna make sure that, you're covered within warranties and use of force liability. So in that 5-year, when you typically need to get a new taser anyway, we're gonna send you a new taser. This is all free of cost, built into the bundle. Same thing with the AI era plan, it's future proof. So every single product that Axon comes out for the next 10 years that falls into the AI era plan, the agency's automatically gonna get, for until 2026. Or sorry, 2036, apologies. But yeah, everything's future proof. If there's a new product that comes out, you are eligible to receive it within that 2.5 or that 5-year mark. And then the AI software, that will come out quarterly. So they'll probably most likely, based on the rate that the AI era has progressed within the last year, we're seeing about 2 to 3 new software features that get added onto the agency's body cameras, evidence.com, anything like that. Really, really technology future proof this plan.
Mayor Pro Tem, I have some questions.
Go ahead, Counselor, wait a minute. Councilor
Go ahead,
Gonzalez,
let him,
you're done?
I'll get him on.
Okay, go ahead, Councilor Ortega.
You know, it's hard to hear, I don't know if it's this, laptop we have or what it is, but my question is, how many body cameras does that come with? If we end up with a police force of 10, are we gonna have 10 body cameras for everybody? For that price?
That's a great question. So right now it comes with 7, and as the 10 years go on, it's expected that you all are gonna grow. What we do is we co-term those new body cameras and tasers to this contract at a prorated rate. So say next year you all hire 3 officers, we'll just get you all 3 officer safety plan bundles with the access to AI era. You won't have to renegotiate this contract, it'll just be added on.
Until we get to 7, and once we get 8, then we have to renegotiate the contract.
No, you're gonna get 7 now, and as many as you wanna add on. If you guys add 40 officers, we just co-term it, to the contract. No renegotiating this contract until 2037, essentially.
So I guess my question now is on to the chief. Chief Romero, is this something you're really wanting or needing?
Yes,
Yes?
yes.
Okay, I have no more questions, and if that's all that there is, I'll make a motion to approve.
1 second.
We still have, Councilor Jaramillo.
Thank you. Things that I didn't hear, Chief Romero or Ms. Nevaeh, is about storage, so I'm just assuming this is cloud storage. And I see her nodding yes. So there's no server on site, on premises server, it's all cloud-based storage?
Exactly, yes. Everything will be on evidence.com. It's secure. Your data is your data. Me here at Axon, I can't log into your account, and the agency next to you, say Red River, they can't log into your account. All your data is secure within the cloud.
Okay.
No more servers.
And regarding this AI reporting feature, is that locked? So as an example, a report is generated, is that nobody could edit it or delete from it. What does that look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So with Draft One, there are a ton of safeguards around it. It only produces the report through the body camera transcript. So it's not gonna hallucinate anything. It's not gonna say, if I'm wearing a gray shirt right now, I was wearing a blue shirt, nothing like that. It's all coming through the transcript there. That being said, anything that the Draft One, generates is going to be 1, editable, and 2, Chief Romero is gonna have the ability to choose how much he wants his officers to write versus how much he wants the program to write. There are also different safeguards in it as well that make the officers read through the entire report before even being able to copy it into the Word document or their record management system afterwards as well. So it's not going to hallucinate anything. It's not like ChatGPT at all. It's going solely based off of the body camera transcript itself and what the officer writes within the draft as well.
Okay. My final question is for Attorney Ramos, or maybe Ms. Shannon could answer this. Is it statutorily allowable to go up to 10 years in a contract? Previously it had been 4 years, 5 years, and I know state statutes are changing all the time. Is it permissible to have a contract up to 10 years now, is my question.
Counselor, that's something that I do not know. That's more like a procurement question. Ms. Beal, do you know that?
When I talk, go ahead. Go ahead, Megan.
I can't say much without researching, but I know this would be a multi-year contract, possibly. I was just doing the research right now. I can, follow back up.
Thank you.
Councilor Gonzalez, any more questions?
Mayor, a question for, Chief. Did you bring a taser in that's more than 5 years old?
I can get it for you.
Really? Because Larry showed up and now we're gonna test it.
You want to see it?
I'm just kidding.
I have one there.
If I could chime in a little bit, I've seen agencies across New Mexico do the 10-year program, because of the cost predictability on there. You know exactly what you're paying for the next 10 years, as well as especially in a plan like this that's so future-proof, you're getting the best price because you are getting essentially 4 rounds of body cameras and 2 rounds of taser throughout the next 10 years for a set price. But I have had agencies throughout New Mexico present the 10-year contract to their councils as well as their procurement, and they are going with the 10-year program as soon as budget flips.
Thank you for your presentation. We had a motion on the floor from Councilor Ortega. Do I have a second?
I think I have one more question, Mayor Pro Tem.
Certainly, Councilor Gonzalez.
So I guess this question is for you, Nevea and Chief. Technology is moving faster than we can keep up. It's just crazy. Are the boys, are they really, how could I say, stressed with the amount of work they have to do? I know that she's talking about 15 hours to 10 minutes, and that gives the guys a lot more time on the road or in the field. It's that beneficial. That's what we're looking at.
It's that beneficial. One of the other main reasons is when the district attorney's office needs evidence, they send a link, they can click the link and then they get it straight from Axon to there. I don't have to burn discs, I don't have to do anything, I don't have to go to Taos, I don't have to drop it off. I don't have to get a shared link file, download it onto a shared link file, and then send it. Hopefully it doesn't get lost somewhere in the mix.
Councilor,
Straight from evidence, attorney's office.
and Councilor Gonzalez, if I can chime in also, I've been getting roughly about 3 to 5 IPRAs a week over the last 2 months or so, and there's quite of them are coming from or for the police department. So our current process right now with the cameras is the guys have to take their cameras off, they have to dock them, they have to wait for the video to upload. Then we had to pay for subscription through our IT to be able to have them and myself have access to a file that they can upload them. I then download it on my computer, and then I have to get a shared link through our attorney. So the process takes quite a while. We do have, some requirements through the IPRA, state statute, and we just want to make sure that we can meet those deadlines. And so it's just quite the process. So not only would it help PD, it would help enhance IPRAs and being able to have access to those footages if needed, instead of having to wait for the officers if they're busy or they're on a call. I don't always have access to them because I have to wait for them to do, to release them to me.
So I guess, Ms. Nevea, one more question, is, are you selling this to all district attorneys and people throughout the state of New Mexico? Agencies?
Every agency around us has Axon except for.
Oh, really?
Everybody in Taos County has Axon.
Mhm.
Fire has Axon, BCSO, APD, state police, everybody's
Oh,
down
so
with
everybody
Axon.
can communicate really.
Nice part with this is that it works with interagency, stuff like that. If I got down at a call and I had my camera on, and Sergeant Wilder got down in the heat of the moment, forgot to turn his camera on, within 30 feet, it's gonna turn his camera on automatically. So it reduces the legal liability on the village as behalf of these departments.
You have a question?
Yeah. Now, 2 questions, based on something, Councilor Gonzalez said. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, and, you guys approving this, you guys would have the top of the line, and any local agency, the other agencies don't have some of the features that Ms. Nevaeh talked about today.
No, as far as I know, the county and everybody, they have just the recording audio, they don't have the policy feature, they don't have any of that other stuff that I'm asking for. They don't have the translation for English to Spanish, English to German, or whatever it is. Whatever you might run into, it'll transcribe whatever you need to get across to whoever's.
That's right, thank you, Chief. And the last question I have, the only thing that I don't see in this packet is the state price agreement.
I can get that for you, Councilor Jaramillo.
All right, I'm done.
Okay,
Well, with those questions being answered, thank you. I'll second it.
Mayor Pro Tem, we had a motion, is there a second or not?
Yes, we just-
Let's move on.
yes, Counselor, we just got the second. We have a motion by Counselor Ortega and a second by Counselor Gonzalez. Madam Clerk, please take roll.
Councilwoman Luis Gallegos,
Yes.
Councilman Brent Jaramillo,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Darrell Ortega.
Yes.
Thank you, Chief. Next on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and decision approval of Healing Field stage purchase from the Stage Depot.
Mayor Pro Tem, council members, in your packet, we have included quite a few quotes. There's 3 quotes actually for the approval of the Healing Field stage purchase. Our recommendation is the Stage Depot. Just a little background, we did get capital outlay, I believe, last year or the year before. Is that
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago, to be able to, we got some funding to help with the Healing Field event that the village puts on every year. And so it did come, we had sent the original grant with a broader scope, and it did come back very cut short and dry, I suppose, if I could say that. They did cut out a lot of language, so there was quite a few purchase barriers. But one of the things that they are allowing us to purchase is a stage. In your packet, like I stated, we did go ahead and provide you with 3 quotes. I stand for any questions.
Mayor Pro Tem, I have a question.
Yes, Counselor Ortega.
So where's the money coming from?
From capital outlay.
So that capital outlay money can be used for little league fields and soccer fields and Questa?
It cannot, so it's basically like through the legislature, they give money, it's kind of like a grant. And this one, they dedicated those fundings just solely to the Healing Field.
It was Senator Bobby Gonzalez that granted the money for the Healing Field. We needed to purchase 1,000 flags, and that was going to cost us over $22,000 to replace, because the rebar and the poles and everything had been out there for 20 years. So we made a request, and he granted us $65,000 strictly for the Healing Field to purchase equipment and supplies for the field. Any other questions,
All the questions I
Councilor?
have.
Thank you. Councilor Gonzalez?
So the equipment used last weekend wasn't the new stuff?
No, we were having trouble with the NO from the state. They kept denying it because of language. So we will start purchasing all of these items because the grant runs out like in a couple of months by the end of this school year. So we need to get this extended ASAP.
Okay. No questions, no other questions from me?
Councilor Jaramillo?
No questions, motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, councilors. We have a motion by Counselor Jaramillo and a second by Counselor Gonzalez. Madam Clerk, please take roll.
Councilwoman Luis Gagos,
Yes.
Councilman Brent Jaramillo,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez, Councilman Darrell Ortega.
Yes.
Thank you, Counselor. Next on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and decision fiscal year 2027 interim budget. Madam Administrator, you have the floor.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and councilors. In your packet, I put a large document for you to go over for the budget for next year. The first page shows my estimated fiscal year 26 actuals with beginning cash, revenue, transfers, and expenditures, and ending cash carryover. That ending cash carryover is what I started the fiscal year 27 budget with. And then I did all of the paperwork for our estimates for revenue, transfers, and expenditures. Both in fiscal year 26 and in fiscal year 27, all of the funds end up with either a positive balance or they zero out. I also included in your packet a summary of the payroll budget by department, showing the number of employees, the full-time equivalents, their base pay, overtime pay, annual wages, and all the taxes and benefits associated with those departments. The payroll budget that I've estimated for fiscal year 27 is $2,652,620.31 for the wages and all the taxes and benefits. After that, in your packet is 24 pages of detail for the entire budget. Revenue, expenditures, transfers, beginning cash, and ending cash. I stand for any questions.
Counselor Ortega, do you have any questions for the administrator?
Yes, I do. So I'm not used to getting a budget 3 days before it needs to be passed. Usually we work on budgets, days in advance, weeks in advance. For someone to shove a budget down my throat, it might be good, Karen, nothing against you. I think we need time to review it. We should be having work study sessions to look at that budget. Because obviously we need to start finding some money for soccer fields and baseball fields. It's a shame that we don't have anything that in Questa for our kids. We don't have anything for the elderly either. So, without looking at a budget thoroughly over time, I'm unable to make a decision on a budget that's given to me on Friday night at 5 o'clock, and I need to come up with questions on Mondays or holidays, so I didn't get to work with anybody on that. So here we are today. So nothing against you, Karen. I'm sure it's a great budget, but I would like to have more input as a councilman in the village of Questa on how we do stuff. And I don't want, something thrown in my lap 2 days before it needs to be approved.
Understood, Councilor.
Councilor Gonzalez, you have any?
Shannon, we talked about the parking fields. We weren't able to get any money.
Councilor, there are a lot of things in the air between our last meeting and this meeting. There is the Questa VFW building, which we're going to be talking about in executive session. There's that land around the tank. Those are all possible purchases. And so I didn't know exactly if you guys were going to approve those purchases for land. If we do approve those purchases, there is not money to put in right now. If our GRTs go up during the fiscal year, then we can definitely put more money in. We also have money in for capital outlay, asking for money there.
Ms. Vigil, you're in charge of park, purchasing stuff and, I'd really like for you to have a very good conversation with the mayor and say that we need stuff for the kids. And you're kind of like purchasing stuff from lower, you're kind of making it happen and,
There's a few things,
what I'm really wanting is like a master plan for the park and the Mollyport field. And I did see the master plan from Arcadis in my binder, and it's a great one. If we could just put them together, master plan it, and then look for money somewhere. I mean, somebody has to have money. I know.
so, a couple things, the village was awarded some money for a mini pitch soccer field over at the park. So that funding will be coming in, now in the fall, beginning of the fall. We did apply for a grant through the Destination Forward grant for the skate park in the back of the park. And so we're waiting to hear for that. And then all of these items, so like the Mollyport field and the park improvements, it is currently in our ICIP. So come legislative session next year, maybe that's something that we can rally and push forward to get some funding on. There is another grant that comes out, it's called the Quality of Life Grant. It comes out in August. We do apply for that as well. Unfortunately, we didn't get it last year. I did send a worded email to the Department of Finance, because Questa is rural and I do believe that we deserve some of that money. I have not heard a response back from them. So there are a few things that are rolling in motion, but, like I said, those items are in our ICIP, so during legislative session, that'd be a good time to talk to our senators and get that funding out. I will keep you updated. I did find a master plan that the creative designs did for us for the park. I can share that with you as well. They did like a master plan when we built the park. They added some landscape and stuff like that, and we can add the mini pitch soccer field in there as well. I know that Mollyport field is something that everybody wants updated, so that's also funding that we did put on our ICIP to see if we can get some funding for that. It has been on there for the last 2 years, so I'm not sure why we haven't gotten any funding, but we will keep trying.
I know why, but I mean, it's just something more important than others, but I've been talking about this since I first got elected, and now we got Councilor Ortega, who's kind of like created another fire underneath my bum, because I got tired of asking. But that's okay. If there are any questions from Mr. Jaramillo?
Councilor Jaramillo, you have any questions?
I have a few questions, but also, but Karen needs to get this done, so where are you in the DFA process?
I am entering this data onto the spreadsheet that I upload into the DFA LGBMS website. I have entered in all of the debt service, and we have balanced the debt service in there. I've been working with the budget analyst for a couple of weeks on that. And then I have to do the questionnaire and the other supplemental reports that have to be put in. I've already started most of those. It's due on the 1st. I hopefully will have it in by Friday so that I don't have to work the weekends. But if I have to work on Saturday to finish uploading and getting it all back in there, then I will.
The third thing that I've been, and I think Councilor Gonzalez was the same way too, we've been kind of asking for the rate increase for the utility funds. Did you factor any of that into the revenue of the enterprise funds?
Mayor Pro Tem and Council, I put in a 5% CPI. We do not have that specific amount yet, so I budgeted it at 5% for all the utilities.
Any other questions, Counselor?
Not that I can think of.
Is this budget document like the ICIP where it's a working document and can be changed as needed if the money comes in or if something changes in one of the other departments?
This interim budget is submitted to the DFA and they approve it for fiscal year 27. After we close fiscal year 26 and have true numbers, then we adjust the cash balance, the carryover for that. At that time, when we submit the final budget, then they approve it, and then we have to do budget adjustment requests to move money around to wherever we would like to change it to,
So
or
right
wherever
now
we
it's
need
just
it.
interim and it's a working document.
It is until we get our final budget
Right.
submitted.
Okay. Counselors, any other questions for the administrator?
No more questions. Thank you, Ms. Shannon, for all your hard work. Make a motion to approve the fiscal year 2027 interim budget.
We have a motion on the floor by Counselor Gonzalez to approve the interim budget. Do I have a second?
I'll second, but I also, for final budget, I do think we do need to have a long retreat and discussion on the budget. So I do agree that we needed to put a little more time into this. I understand where Ms. Shannon is in the process as well, but for final, let's really make the time to sit down and go through the budget in detail for final budget.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Good suggestion, Counselor Ortega. We have a first and a second. Madam Clerk, will you take roll, please?
Councilwoman Louise Gagos,
Yes.
Councilman Brent Jaramillo,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez.
Yes.
Councilman Darrell Ortega,
No,
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Administrator. Next on the agenda is executive session, and we will go into go ahead. Sorry, Counselor.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, and I apologize to my fellow council members. If, I wish I would have caught this in the beginning when we were approving the agenda. Can we have maybe 2 public comments? Can we have a public comment now? Because I think there's a few folks here that are here to speak regarding the VFW purchase, and then for them to sit here and wait till the end of public comments at the end of the agenda. All I'm saying is, there's a few folks here that I see in the audience that are here for the VFW purchase. I don't know what everybody else thinks.
Madam Attorney, Maylene, are you there? Is the attorney there?
Yes, attorney's here.
Is it proper to add a public comment to discuss VFW matters at this time? Because we did not add it at the beginning. Can we do it now?
Can someone closer to the speaker ask that question again? Thank you, Valerie.
We're asking if they can move public comment.
No, not move, add another public comment strictly for VFW purchase.
We should just do it all at once.
I'm fine with that too.
I think once the agenda's approved, you can't do anything. And we made a motion to approve it.
Okay. All right, Counselor. We will go into executive session to discuss land and property acquisition at 6:46. I need a motion.
So
Sorry.
moved.
And a second? We have a motion by Counselor Jaramillo, a second by Counselor Gonzalez. Madam Clerk?
Councilwoman Louise Gagos,
Yes.
Councilman Brent Jaramillo,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilman Darrell Ortega.
Yes.
Thank you.
pretty good at that.
Okay, so how do you?
Okay, they're gonna tell you. Oh. Shoot, I was gonna tell you, I was yeah, but you can hop in and if you have, it should be that. Okay,
It's not okay. Why would my?
Okay.
Vamos a
All right, councilors. Okay, I'd like to come out of executive session at 7:14. Councilors, can I have
I'll make a motion to come out of the executive session.
do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion by Councilor Gonzalez to come out of executive session at 7:14. Have a second by Councilor Jaramillo. Madam Clerk?
Councilwoman Louise Beckles,
Yes.
Councilman Brent Carnell,
Yes.
Councilman Jason Reyes.
Yes.
Councilman Darrell Ortega.
Yes.
And I would like to mention that there was no action taken. We only discussed matters that were on the agenda. The possible acquisition of Questa VFW and property adjacent to the village water tank. Next on the agenda, we have matters from the village attorney.
So the attorneys do not currently have any matters to discuss.
Thank you, Ms. Ramos. Matters from the administrator.
Madam Pro Tem and councilors, I do have a few updates for you. The Healing Field event on Sunday went very well. The summer reading program flyer is on your desk. It's quite detailed. Early voting has begun in the court chambers. They are open Tuesday through this Saturday from 10 to 6 p.m. I have confirmed that on June 2nd for Election Day, the voting hours are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're still waiting to hear back from our waste management representative about the dumpster audit. We reached out to them again today. The replacement pump and motor for well 1 are being ordered and will be replaced as soon as possible. We are waiting to hear back from Midco Diving and Marine out of Rapid City, South Dakota, to set the appointment to get our water tanks inspected. They come when they have several tanks to do since they're coming so far. Ms. Vigil met with Sharp USA of Santa Fe about the chamber's audio system. She will have procurement for your approval at the next meeting. Upper and Lower Embargo Road pavement is complete. The construction on Lower Embargo Bridge is complete. Paving on Cabresto Road began today and will take 3 days minimum. With weather and stuff, they're hoping to get it done this week. Drainage on Shirley Road is complete. They need to do the seeding, which will be done by the end of the week. The stucco on the older section of the library is complete. Next, gutters will be installed. Mrs. Vigil has submitted a quote from TKM LLC out of Albuquerque to the Office of the State Auditor for our fiscal year 26 audit. We're waiting for their approval to move forward with the purchase order. And the meeting with the Taos Pueblo War Chief is set for Wednesday, June the 3rd at 5 p.m. at his office at the Taos Pueblo. I've asked Mrs. Vigil to post for notice of possible quorum. That's all I have.
Thank you, counselors. Do any of you have questions for the administrators?
I do. I have one.
Counselors?
June 3rd, you said,
June 3rd?
for the war chief, the Pueblo?
Yes, June 3rd. It's a Wednesday at 5 o'clock p.m. at his office.
Thank you.
Counselor Jaramillo, you have questions for the administrator?
Do not.
Counselor Gonzalez?
I do have a question. I don't know whether to bring it up now or later. The referendum that the mayor had me create with another individual so that we can go back to how should I say it? So that we can approach Chevron Mine for use of that water. I understand the lawyer has that paperwork. Maybe, can you answer that?
Can you repeat again?
He's asking about the referendum that they worked on to ask Chevron to use the reuse water
Use the reclaimed water from
from the mine there instead of the well. Do you know the status of that document?
I do not, I'm not Marcus. I believe Marcus is working with us.
no other questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Administrator. I have no questions myself.
I have questions for her. I think it's for Karen. I mean.
Oh, I thought I asked you. I'm sorry. Apologies, Counselor Ortega.
The first thing I want to say is, whatever we have in there is horrible for listening. I can barely hear everything that's going on. And now I know what the community is saying when they listen to these audio tapes or, listen live. We need to figure out what's wrong and we need to address it because, we're throwing a lot of money away and other stuff and we don't even have our ducks in a row in that office. This meeting is pretty hard for me to understand because I can't hear anything. I really gotta put my ear to the microphone, which is, we're a municipality, we should have better devices than that. Then, we talked about the audit on the dumpster audit for solid waste. We're still nowhere on that, 3 months later. Status on the IFRA for Mr. Rayal, what's the status on that? I keep getting emails from him and so does the council and mayor. Where are we on the status of the IFRA for Mr. Rayal?
I did email him directly. We should have his request by the end of the week.
Okay. The Village Corrals, where are we on Village Corrals? I thought we had a community member who was interested in renovating them, bringing them up to speed, and then letting the community and help use them. Are we anywhere on that, Karen?
No, Counselor, we haven't done a whole lot of work on that.
Okay. And this was for, let's see. I guess you answered what's going on Progress Road. I have a lot of people thinking we're gonna turn it into a dirt road again. So hopefully that gets done and hopefully it's a good job. And this is time for me. Now, where are we at the USDA grant that we requested?
Checking now.
The
expansion?
FOIA, USDA grant for Chevron and Kit Carson.
We don't have anything to review as of yet.
You don't have anything from USDA or FOIA. I think Mr. L requested that about 3 months ago.
I can ask them.
Yeah, you would, because
Yeah, no.
we're patiently waiting for that. That's to tell us where they're asking for the water to come from on that grant. Same thing Mr. Gonzalez is asking for.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Counselor. Thank you, Madam Administrator. Next is the matters for mayor and council members. Counselor Jaramillo. Counselor Gonzalez.
You know, just a lot of work, talking with professionals in the world of, water, the world of green hydrogen, Luis Reyes, I know it's not too popular here, but, you know, just I'm trying to find all the answers that I need before I can say anything in public. There's a lot of numbers regarding the water usage. If you compare that with the Sunshine Valley, 14,000 acres of water usage out there, I mean, well, I don't want to say it, but 47 acre feet of water for a green hydrogen project. So there's a lot of things I'm trying to bring together so I can say it at once. So I'm working around the clock. My mind is stressed, and well, we'll have an answer in maybe 2 weeks or a month. That's it.
Anything else? Counselor Ortega, do you have any matters for mayor and council?
Yeah, you know, same thing she was also talking about, Councilor Gonzalez. You know, we serve good water right now. I have customers, we have customers in Red River, Death Valley are losing wells. And here we're gonna do this, crazy project of trying to drain all the water off of the other net. And then we're having problems ourselves on the well. I'm really concerned too, and we're not getting any kind of transparency from Kit Carson Electric. Nothing's coming forward. We can't get a FOIA because they refuse to turn it over. That's a simple item they have in their hands. They can just make a copy and send it to us. I'm concerned about all that. And I'm also concerned about this audio system we have. Oh my God, I have to put my ear inside of a microphone to try to get to understand what's going on. It's ridiculous. I can see our elderly or anybody who's at home or overridden, they don't know what's going on this community because we don't have the proper equipment. I hope we can find some money, we can find money for everything else to get this accomplished sooner rather than later. It's ridiculous, actually, but anyways, that's all I have.
Thank you, Counselor. Next, we move on to public comments. And let me remind you that it is the policy of the governing body to accept public comment. Because your issue is not on the agenda, the governing body cannot respond immediately, but may direct staff to address issues at a future council meeting. Public comments are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. Do we have anyone for public comments? Please step forward and state your name, sir.
Thank you, and thank you for the time. Thank you for your attention. My name is Omjaya Maxwell. So quickly, I just want to say something about Kit Carson. You're partnering with them. And the latest thing is them holding applications at the library for a job installing solar panels. People are desperate. There are young families, young people with children who are having trouble paying their mortgages. People are looking for work. It's going to be very easy to find people to build this solar panel, these solar arrays. However, nowhere did I see on the applications risk of contamination from a tailing site, more specifically a Superfund site. We all know what that is, right? But a lot of these people are going to be desperate, and these could be our own children needing a job and maybe wanting to stay home in New Mexico. They'll take that job, and they'll be working in a field that EPA has claimed is safe, but we know EPA is a little iffy right now. We also know that the site has not been totally properly covered, nor has it had enough time for a proper assessment if it's even non-toxic. The wind blows most commonly from the south and southwest. Kid Carson keeps saying, we're putting the solar panels not on the tailing site, but next to it. Well, the wind blows that dust from the tailing site right over where they want to put the panels. That means on a heavy storm, we get dust out in Sunshine Valley and El Rito from the same site. But now here we are taking advantage of people who need jobs. They're going to come and file up and take that job, and they're going to be working. And some of those days are going to be windy. So I think it's very important that it's disclosed that taking this job puts you at risk of a dirty secret. Now, this is Kit Carson. We're not opposed to Questa and an economic boom. We love Questa. We're here because we love Questa. Hydrogen can be great, but Kit Carson has not been clear to us. Daryl keeps bringing up requests that aren't getting met, but this is a new one that no one's talked about. So I want to bring it to your attention as parents. We're putting people at risk. So if you're allowing Kit Carson to run applications in a Questa library, then you should see to it that they put a disclaimer. They put it on cigarettes. This is more dangerous. I mean, I wouldn't want my son becoming 60 and all of a sudden having lung cancer and not really knowing why, because of Questa. Because Questa overlooked something very important. We cannot forget the mine. People went up there to work, they were innocent. And the mine still is a nightmare in Questa. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person? Anyone else for public comments?
Hi, I'm Vilma Bailon, and I'm actually just giving you some information about the Questa VFW that we've been using. So just a little quick history is the Cerro Questa Friendship Circle began back in 1963, 1964, and it was done by Gilbert Segura, Tom and Amanda South, and Esther Lopez, which are the elderlies that we had in Cerro. Later on in 1965, 1966, Questa became a part of this program. So as you can see from that time, the Friendship Circle has been serving the community for over 40 some years, okay? And what it does is that people join as a local member. It's $30. You participate in the program. You go, you serve, you help cook, do whatever. So when you're a part of the group, if a loved one passes away that's in your family and they're paid for, the Friendship Circle takes care of that meal and the family doesn't have to worry about that. So there's a fee for locals, there's a fee for out of town, and there's a fee for non-participant members, okay? We used to use the St. Anthony's Parish before they changed it into an office and that stuff. We used that for many years. And then we were able to use the Questa VFW, okay? And using the Questa VFW, the Questa Friendship Circle paid the insurance for the VFW, which was about $4,800 a year. So we did not pay for the usage of the facility, okay? They did at the time if anybody wanted to use the facility back then, you know, it was whatever the VFW would charge, whoever the commander was, whatever at that time. I don't know that. But right now, since the VFW is closed, we were asked to take all our stuff out, which we did. It's in a trailer. And then they know they asked the village, so when their state commander or whatever came down, it's like, oh, everything in this building goes with the VFW. Well, it doesn't, because all that kitchen equipment and everything belongs to the village. You purchased it. And I know for a fact, like I've spoken with Karen, is that you can't take all that stuff out. Where are you going to take the hood out? Where are you going to take the stove out? Where are you going to put it at? And then I understand that you're in the middle of wanting to purchase. So before my time is up really quick, the purchase is if the village purchased it, it'd be great. If the county purchased it, it'd be great. Still combining using both areas. Like right now, the VFW and Cerro, that is owned by the county. They pay all the utilities and everything for that facility. Whatever they put into that thing is all out of grant funding that they use. So, I mean, we just got to look at it that way. You know, is it feasible for the village to purchase it or the county to purchase it? Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Bailon.
Thank you, Council, Mayor Pro Tem, Council. My name is Larry Sanchez, a former councilman and Taos County Commissioner. And at this time, I'd like to address the importance of the building, the VFW building. We need it, as Velma just said, we need it for our Acequias meeting, friendship circle, for funerals, for quinceaneras, high school reunions, graduations. And our late Senator, Carlos Cisneros, put in some capital outlay monies, which are over $30,000 for the new appliances that are there today. So I cannot see how we could get rid of that building when it's much needed in Questa. We don't have anything to help people when they lose a loved one and they come out of town from Colorado, Texas, Arizona, and this provides the meals for the family. So, and I, being a Vietnam era vet, it's really sad to hear that we lost the VFW. I talked to a gentleman in Taos, and they were willing to take it over. We have to put their VFW number on this building. But I wanted to make sure maybe the council could go with our state senator, our state representative, and let's go out for some capital outlay monies, which are out there. Maybe it's a little too early, but we could talk to them to put it on hold. I did talk to the realtor, and he's behind us. He wants to keep it here and not sell it to no entity. Leave it here for us. So I did meet with the gentleman, and he's in full agreement that maybe you guys could come on board and help us with that. Go for capital out there. Go for the monies. So, we'll attempt for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez.
Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, councilors and Mayor Pro Tem and everybody. Just to follow up on the Questa VFW shutting down, they were on suspension for several years, so they had, time to try to get things together, but it didn't come through. Anyway, there's a question about the Pueblito Cemetery, not having a home or a sponsor now. We did talk about it in our last meeting at the Cerro VFW. And well, I mean, it would be nice if Cerro could take it over, but we'd also need the membership from Questa to join Cerro VFW to help with that commitment, because it can't just be Sarah doing all the work for, for the cemetery. So we did talk about it. It's been tabled until the next meeting. But, we still have to work together. We can't, Sarah's kind of picking up the slack, not slack, but picking up, trying to help out where we can. But we have water issues now. So we shut down the Cerro VFW. No further events will be taking place until we have running water in the building. But we do need to figure out something with the Friendship Circle, because right now we don't have any kind of agreement in place. And then lastly, I just want to let you all know I'm still against this hydrogen plant. I think it's a terrible idea. And New Mexico residents are making one thing very clear. We've gathered several thousand signatures, but communities should have the final say over what happens to their land, water, and future. As concerns grow over massive data center expansion, hydrogen plant expansion, more people are speaking out against projects they believe could permanently change the character of their towns while putting pressure on local resources and infrastructure. Many residents say they feel ignored by officials who continue pushing the large developments despite growing public opposition. Now communities across New Mexico are demanding transparency, accountability, and leaders who actually listen to the people they represent. So for many voters, this is no longer about technology or development. It's about protecting the places families have called home for generations. And the message from the crowd is simple. You gotta just voting matters. So anyway, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You already had 3 minutes, I'm sorry.
My name is Michael Montoya. I'm from Cerro. And right now, as you know, we're having very strong issues with our water in Cerro. And right now, what I'm going to read to you is off of the Cerro Regional MDWCA, and as Velma is our president. As of Saturday, the 24th of this year, 1941, our well depth was at 116 feet. The pump is set at 102 feet. Water table during the day was 102.4 with pump on. Pump off static level was at 90 feet. With the water table at 90, pump at 102 with 3 hours of reach of the level of 102 feet. As of Saturday, the May 24th again, the pump turned on at 6 a.m. By 9 a.m., the static level was at 101.5. It was gurgling, sound of air. Pump was turned off and no water since. And the chain of command is followed as our president has gone through. She has spoken to the county commissioner, the county manager, Taos County ER management, the Taos mayor, Questa mayor, and the New Mexico Rural Water Association, and New Mexico WARN, and NMED. So she's gone through the chain of command of whatever they had told her. And she's gone through the governor, RCAC, the senator, the environmental department, finance authorities, and the reserve has depleted from our accounts. So a state emergency, we have the Chevron well usage cannot change, but the hydrogen. Another concern about the hydrogen plant. That's, as our weather, what I have read, all the state of New Mexico is in a, what do you call it, lack of water. It's dry. It's all New Mexico right now. And as if this goes on, they're going to drain us dry. And we ask for your support to be against all this because our wells are drying out. And this is our life, water is life. And we love the towns, we love our communities. And, well, what else can I say? La agua es la vida. And without water, this would be a ghost town. So take that in mind as well. And we thank you a lot. And I think that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Montoya.
Hi, I loved what you read. I can't find the girl that read it, but I was going to read the exact same thing that was talking about how
Excuse me.
many.
Can you state your name for the
I'm sorry.
record, please?
Hi, I'm Sharon Mayer.
Thank you.
And where she was saying many residents feel ignored by officials who continue pushing large developments. It almost feels like this is a foregone conclusion, which is a real problem, because remember when you guys had the mine, and I remember, because I moved here 25 years ago, people were getting cancer and dying, and they offered them, Chevron offered them like a pittance until the lawyer stepped in and said, that is not enough money for the damages that were done. And now I was surprised to hear you say something about reusing the water from the mine. In some of the first meetings that we had that I went to over at the VFW, they said that water is not actually even clean enough because it has to be ultra pure water to run this green hydrogen plant. So that water, and if you just check me on this, but that water is, and this was somebody who did the research. We sat there for at least an hour and listened to them talk about, and also the way the wells are and how it's lowering everyone's water table, which I want to address because I have many neighbors, including me. We had to, and at our expense, we have had to dig deeper in our well. We just did that like 6 months ago. Many people here probably know they have had to go deeper already. And we're up in El Rito, but I'm sure in other places as well. So obviously, I had told Bernie, I just had questions about it. I don't want to just automatically be against it, but I don't feel like they've been transparent with us. And I think we're really going to regret it. I really don't think that we should just roll over for this because we need money. There's other things we can do. So I want to address the VFW building. A few years ago, I think it was one of your relatives was at that church that was donated to Taos County. And all of we were all like, hey, we need a place to gather. We want to do stuff, And he happened to be there and he said, oh, you just need to call. And so, write. And I did. I called, I wrote, and then I was told to email. I never got an answer back because that building, we don't even get to use. And I know it's for the county, but we're up here. It would be great to be able to use that old, the church I'm talking about.
I do.
Yeah, it's got the big white water tanks in front of it. It's just up the road. Was it New Covenant or Family? Anyway, that building on this side of the road, which now has water for the fire hydrants or whatever. So anyway, we're not getting to use that building with something about ants, and it has been years. And so I would say we could do a GoFundMe. I'm sure the people in this community some of them have money, would pull together to raise the funds so that we could have the VFW, so that we have a place to meet. We need that. Our community needs that. We need to come together and stop fighting each other and also enjoy our life up here. I mean, we're rural.
Thank you. Good evening.
Hi, my name is Tina Hedin. I'm a Questa resident and a registered voter. I'm a new resident here, but my family has been in Taos County and Questa for almost 50 years. I would like to speak as somebody who recently bought property here and I didn't know about the hydrogen project. I came here because my family is here. I love the quality of life here. I wanted to make a commitment to this community, and we have, and we intend to stay here. However, I might have chosen not to had I known about the project, and I wonder how my personal experience reflects in a bigger way to the growth of this community if that project goes through. I worry about, of course, the water. I worry about the this is the first time I've ever spoken in public. I'm not an activist person, well, I guess I am now, but this issue got me to come here. I want to learn more about it. And I also just, so yeah, I was going to say, concerned about the water. What else did I have here? The impact on property values and the overall, the natural environment, and of course the quality of life that is why we're here. I believe this project threatens those things and the future in Questa, the future of the growth of the community, which is going to, drive the economic growth. So I'm not good at public speaking. I'm not going to say any more, but I just wanted to show up and learn what I can and express my opinion.
Thank you, Ms. Dean. Anyone else for public comments?
Teresa Stat. I just want to read a little thing. It's not related just to Questa. It's all in New Mexico, basically.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Teresa Stat.
Teresa?
Yeah. Albuquerque has temporarily shifted relying entirely on groundwater reserves for its municipal drinking water supply because of record low snowpack and near empty reservoirs. The city was forced to stop drawing surface water from the Rio Grande. This sudden shift has created major immediate concerns for water security in the region, which you can learn more about by watching. There's videos out there, there's information out there. And we're north of that, so we're vulnerable, all of us. We have no snowpack, so Albuquerque, pay attention to that, 100% underwater, that they have to use all their underwater reserves. That's pretty scary. Could that happen here? Perhaps. So I just wanted to just share that with you. We don't need any extra burdens on this land and Questa itself. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Morgan Gentry. I wanted to mention that I think that we should always have public comment prior to decisions made in the agenda. I think otherwise we're just kind of engaging in a formality of allowing people to speak and saying, oh, we let people, provide public comment. But if we're providing decisions before the comment, I think we could readdress the format. And I think it should stay that way. I don't think we should have it alternating depending on the day. I want to voice that I would like to have our virtual meeting capacity be better supported. I think that we should have an easy to find link so that people can tune in and, if they can't get here, they're not disrupting the meeting, but they're still getting the information. They can still have an opinion. I think that's really important. I want to address some risks about the hydrogen plant as well, and I'm wondering if you guys have looked into some of these sources. There's the Department of Energy Handbook. There's the Hazard and Accident Analysis Handbook. You can find some of these things at hydrogen.energy.gov. That's the U.S. Department of Energy Hydrogen Program page. You can check out an Introduction to Hydrogen Code for Officials. Specifically, I would like you to look into the fire safety, the fire and emergency planning. They have an array of like a dozen different risk assessment tools. So there's a 3D risk management for hydrogen installations tool. There's the AICHE Institute for Learning and Innovation. There's the Hydrogen Safety Bibliographic Database. They call these specific instances lessons learned. This is a voluntarily submitted database, so that means it's not an exhaustive, inclusive, but they do detail some of these risks and things that have gone bad, especially casualties, especially within aging systems. I'm concerned that if the village of Questa acquires either the solar array or what have you, after 10, 15 years, are we getting depreciated assets, and what risks come with them? If we're in charge of things and people get sick, what liabilities do we have at that point? So what's the lifespan? Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but what are we going to get saddled with? And then also, we are going to have our emergency responders be specially trained for this. And these sources go into that and what's involved there. But I want to talk also, I know I have 10 seconds, but what about fire suppression and PFAS chemicals in case there's a fire? And how's that going to impact our water system? Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sola Peterson. Thank you for letting us have the opportunity to speak. While handing out information on the proposed hydrogen plant, I heard from many Questa residents about who our council and board members bow down to or support. As an elder and longtime resident of Taos County, I'm concerned when I see Kit Carson doing business with a money-making corporation such as Chevron that is historically involved in polluting the village of Questa. We live in an era where making a profit on any business, even utilities, comes with reimbursing shareholders. And I know that's how projects get started, with loans and grants. But corporations are not human beings. They do not look at the whole picture. When a business becomes successful, the employees should be included in the financial rewards, not just the shareholders, corporate employees, and the CEOs. Corporate employees should not get to work and be paid by multiple city, county, and village funds. All who are part of county and city planning also are making deals that benefit them. Nepotism provides a very narrow view of the whole community and its needs. Our mayor, councilors, and governors need to be first public servants in the biggest way, serving their constituents, helping to make life work better in the community, not just bowing to big business and the monetary influence on a few. In becoming reacquainted with Questa the last few years, I was very affected by the $2 stores that had opened and wondered and actually spoke to the owner of the real grocery store and wondered if they were considered before giving those two commercial corporations their business licenses. I feel that our city council needs to make sure residents are considered and included in all projects by approving what is being offered. How does city planning and water use on larger or small land development differ as far as permits? What is sanctioned where earth, air, and water are disturbed? The earth exposed toxic dust that very likely affects builders and residents. How much mining and drilling will be allowed to make space for a solar array and plant? What is the current water situation in regards to the proposed hydrogen plant? Do you have a permit? Will there be a water use monitor? The water use is very concerning to most residents who I have spoken to regarding proposed hydrogen plant. Multiple wells have had issues very recently. The air pollution is also on the villagers' minds. Air quality is a definite health consideration, and the city council needs to address the concerns of the people and have real answers as to why the hydrogen plant is such an important project.
Thank you, Ms. Peterson. Your time is up.
Good evening, Council Pro Temp. My name's Jessica Joseph. I went to the KCEC board meeting today,
and there was an update to the Board of Trustees on the hydrogen project. Mostly about how in the month of June they'll be moving in more equipment and the job fair, and that their goals are to have this, you know, as we all know, built by July 4th, July 10th. There's a couple different deadlines there. I asked Luis after the meeting, what happens if the village of Questa does not vote for this project? What happens if there is no water source for the hydrogen project? I mean, everyone's clear on that. Right now, there is no water source for the hydrogen project. And yet, this cart before the horse we keep talking about is to build a 300-acre solar array for a hydrogen plant, but there's no water for the hydrogen plant. That hydrogen plant may not happen. And I know that people, and some of you even up there, are saying in community, it's done. This is done. It's going to happen. Regardless, that is not true. There is no water source currently. I really hope every time that we come up here and we share information, and I know myself, every single meeting I address you folks to please be educating yourselves and doing the research that we are doing out in the community. I went to the EPA meeting. I plan on spending some time talking with Nicole and Catherine, the attorney, this week and next week. Because my understanding is that POD 18, the well that they want to use, that is on the tailings site, is part of a remediation. It's a remediation well. EPA was very clear in telling us that when you have a well that is involved with remediation, if you want to change its purpose to not be involved in that remediation, it is not an issue for the OSE. Everybody's thinking, oh, it goes to the OSE, and then we can, no, would be an issue to make an amendment to the record of decision. That is an EPA and a federal thing. I'm just wondering if you guys are aware of that. If you're really paying attention to the fact that there may very likely be no water for this, and yet your vote will allow this solar array to go through for what?
Good evening, Mariquita Real. I wasn't going to get up and speak today, but I just wanted to voice my concerns about the tailings that are over 400 acres exposed. How long have you guys known about that? Why were the people not notified of that? That is dangerous that people and school children and people are breathing that in. What is the reason for that? We cannot get a clear answer. That's huge. Over 400 acres of toxic tailings blowing through our community, through our valley for all these years. That is not okay. We deserve better. You know, our standards need to be higher. You guys, we need to have higher standards for everything. We cannot just be walked upon. This is our health. This is our children. This is our livelihood. It's dangerous that is not covered, and I just don't understand how that's been accepted all these years. Another one thing I wanted to just mention, you guys I'm sure have heard, the Rio Grande is dry. The Rio Grande is dry. We don't have water to spare. And another thing I was known about is someone asked me, what if a lightning strike would hit the hydrogen plant? Let me read this to you. A direct lightning strike on a green hydrogen plant could trigger catastrophic explosions, fires, and major equipment damage due to the extreme heat and massive electrical surges. Through modern facilities, utilize rigorous safety systems to divert strikes and prevent ignition. But ignition and explosive risk, hydrogen is a highly flammable gas with a wide explosive range. If lightning strikes a pressurized vessel, vent stack, or pipeline where a hydrogen leak is already present, the intense heat or resulting electrical arc can instantly ignite the gas, potentially causing a major detonation or fire. A lightning strike causes transient overvoltages. Even if it does not strike the gas directly, it can send massive power surges through the plant's electrical grid. The high voltage can destroy the sensitive electric components of the electrolyzers, and as well as damage rectifiers, compressions, and control systems. I'm sure you guys all saw what was going on in California with those highly explosive tanks around so many people, and they had to evacuate 15-mile radius. What would Questa do in a situation like that? We can't get TNT equivalents, we can't get blast radius, we can't get none of that safety information that we've been asking for. It's important. We need to know the answer to these questions. What if something like that were to happen here? What would you do? What is your plan for an explosion of some sort? Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment?
My name is Roxanne Ortega, and most of you, Mayor Pro Tem and Council, most of you here know where I live, and I have good neighbors. I have Manny up there, I have Gabe Romero, I have Maxine Royale further down, and I have good neighbors except one. It's the tailings pond back there. The Pot 18, what everybody calls, is my neighbor. And a lot of times I have trouble sleeping at night. In the middle of the night, when everything is really quiet, I can hear a hum somewhere down there. Nobody has said anything about it, but because maybe some people can't hear it. I'm way up there. And I am concerned about what's in my backyard, just a ways down from my house. And then from now on, it's going to be extending up that way. And what I did learn was what Mariquita repeated or said a while ago about a big concern is if lightning hits that thing up there, it doesn't have to hit the gas itself, but there will be a major, major explosion, causing fires and people exposing the people at Questa to all this stuff. It's dangerous. And you who sit up there have a responsibility, nothing personal, but to this village and the people here. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello.
My name is Lisa Pham. I live in Latir. I moved here a year ago. I'm really nervous. This is not how I wanted to introduce myself, but here we are. I read a quote this morning that said, "Water is not a commodity. It is a birthright. It belongs to the earth, to other species, and to future generations. No corporation has the right to control it." If you take a bird's eye view from above, you'll see the same story playing out across the state, the country, and the globe. The corporate beast is grabbing every piece of valuable resource we have and extracting all life out of it for the benefit of a few, whether it's data or detention centers, green energy to fuel the mass surveillance that is being pushed into our reality. If this truly is for the betterment of our community, where is the transparency? Looking at the greater macro, there are two sides beginning to stand. One is speeding towards extraction and extinction. The other is reaching towards the affirmation of life. We are at that choice point. We are looking at an unknown future. War, a changing climate, drought, fire, rising fuel costs, breaking supply chains. Whether it's the water, the proximity to the children, the potentiality of mass casualty or contamination event, or even as straightforward as what it'll do to our precious landscape, wildlife, and culture. Any of these would give us pause, so why are we rushing through the fog? We all know the shiny facade of words and public relations are meant to mask lies and deceit. They don't care about us. We are disposable. Have we not figured that out yet? Here's the thing. None of this is theirs to take. It is ours to protect. They want us to think we are powerless. They want us to think this is inevitable. They want us to think we are alone. And none of this is true. We have been placed here, whether by birth, circumstance, or choice, at this time and place for reason. This is our pocket to protect. This land holds the pain of generations of extraction and abuse. This land and water also have the beauty and sustenance of life that is ready to be tended to and healed, nurtured, and cared for. We are blessed to live in a corner of such beauty. Why is our land being treated with such ill regard? Every single person on this planet is faced with a choice at this moment. Do we continue the cycle, or do we bravely and courageously walk into this unknown together and dare to reach for something else for our future? I understand and respect the immense pressure you all sit under. And also, this Kit Carson project has names tied to it. Your role is a big responsibility, and your vote will not be hidden behind titles and closed doors. The names of those who sold our community, our children, and all of its most valuable resources out will be emblazoned and enshrined to follow wherever you go. Is the payoff worth the cost of soul? I see the budding of life opening in Questa, and I hold a deep reverence and respect for land and this life. As this village's elected council, given the power of vote, do you?
Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you all for your time tonight, for being here, and I'll adjourn this meeting at 8:09. That was always my biggest fear. But now I
Pretty good.